play the game with the people that writing the rules. Ain't the fame that I'm after when paying the dues. I've been through the pain that's reflected in the attitude. Might be winning now, but the thing is that I had to lose. So go and tell me what you really want to do. And lonely at the top, cause there ain't a lot of room. Ain't no other option, that's all I ever knew. So I'ma get it poppin', you know how I'ma do. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. I've been down from the jump. Ain't no love lost, we just really doing us. Go and take your seat, looking silly getting up. Y'all know what it is, let me tell them what it was. It was 24/7 on the grind, one thing at a time. Hard to understand, kind of person got the state of mind. We was making moves every day, getting things in line. You could go and say what you want, but believe that I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in.
Let's go, faithful. How's everybody doing tonight? It is Thursday night. I was not expected to go live, but I said, you know what? Let's do it. I'm fired up. We got Chase freaking Young. Now, I know that everybody has spoken about Chase Young added to this defense. Is he going to be a game changer? Is he going to affect this defense? Do the Niners still have a chance to win it all? And I say that, hell yes, we have a chance to win it all. We're going to talk about that and much more right after this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's effing go. Freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to talk some 49er football today with you guys. I am fired up. Yes, I know the last 3 weeks have not gone the way that we wanted it. 5-3 is not where we wanted to be. We wanted to be 8-0, maybe 7-1, even take 6-2. But it is what it is. We are 5-3. We are in our bye week. What is John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan going to do to resolve the issues at hand? Is Chase Young going to make a difference on defense? Can Steve Wilkes turn the ship around? Because if he can't do it with Chase Young, with Nick Bosa, Hargrave, Armstead, Drake Jackson, our boy, I can't think of his name. Come on, Beto, think. The kid that came from the Broncos. If we can't do it with them, who can we do it with? I'm fired up. We're going to talk. But before I go further, before I say hello to everybody in the chat, I'm starting a new trend. So those that have been following me for a while, those that support my channel, I'm going to start a new trend. I want to see the commitment of my faithful every time I do a live. Every time I do a live, I want to see you guys put on the comments hashtag NSP, hashtag Niners Sickness Podcast. So hashtag, I'll do it right now. So every time I go live, it's pinned, by the way, hashtag NSP going forward. So whenever you see me go live, whenever you see me start a live, hit on the comments, hashtag Niners Sickness Podcast. I want to start the new trend. Let's see how it goes. Every live that I do, where I'm going to call all my hashtag people. Can we all say hashtag Niners Sickness Podcast? So let me start it off. There we go. I put it on there. Hashtag NSP. So can I get my faithful to slap that in the comments each and every time I go live? I would appreciate that.
If not, I'm going to cry like you never seen a full-grown man cry.
All right. Let me say hello to Daniel Barry Sports. How are you doing, sir? Jimmy PS in the house. What's up, Jimmy? Welcome to the channel, my friend. We got royalty in the house.
That is the correct.
Hold on, guys. Hit the wrong button. We got Dawn, my older sister, my younger sister, I should say. Royalty in the house. What's up, Dawn? We got Jesus M in the house. What's up, Jesus? So, the San Francisco 49ers are on a bye. They are on a 3-game losing streak. Not the type of streak that we want to really have, right? A lot of Niner faithful are upset. A lot of Niner faithful are feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling like, man, we were 5-0 at one point. We had just kicked the butt of the Dallas Cowboys, 42-10. We were on top of the world. We were the team destined to go to the Super Bowl. We had our chest pumped out. And then we had to take a bite of what people like to call a humble pie. We went to Cleveland, lost the game that we should have won if it wasn't for the missed kick from our rookie kicker, Jake Moody. And then we went to Minnesota and the controversial call from Steve Wilkes right before the half when he did an all blitz. With 13 seconds to go, he called an all blitz. We lose that game in Minnesota. Then we come home and we face the rested Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Mixon. And we had a tough going defensively. Now, a lot of people want to blame Brock Purdy for those 2 interceptions that he threw. He is responsible for those interceptions. He admits it. He takes accountability for those mistakes. But let's be real. I watched the all 22 of that game, and Brock Purdy did not play bad football. He played good football. He made 2 crucial mistakes that cost us turnovers. I'm not excusing that. But for people to hate on Brock Purdy and say that Brock Purdy is who they thought he was, he's no good. I'm sorry to bust your bubble. Brock Purdy is the best quarterback that we have had since Kaepernick and Alex Smith. He made 2 mistakes. Costly, But if you watch the film, ladies and gentlemen, and you watch the poise on how he threw the ball, he ran the ball for first downs, he used his feet. People a lot of said that, oh, he's not mobile enough. He's not athletic enough. And Brock Purdy continues to show doubters wrong. Now, does it help to throw 2 INTs in the last couple of games back to back? No. Hopefully this bye week, he can dial it up and tone it back. Hopefully, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Steve Wilkes get together, have a heart-to-heart conversation, and figure out how can we get back to the winning side. Now, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Wilkes was brought in to drive the car, not to bring his own car. He was brought in to drive the Ferrari, which is the defense that was put together by D'Amico Ryans and Robert Saleh. I understand every coordinator wants to put his stamp on his defense or offense. I understand that. But the term, if it ain't broken, why fix it, applies to the Niners defense. Am I ready to fire Steve Wilkes? Absolutely not. But I do to say this. Some people want him on the field. Some people don't want him on the booth. Whatever your prerogative is. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't think the booth is a problem. Whether he's in the booth or he's on the sideline, I don't consider that to be either way. What I do want him to do is to continue to ride what works. Let your front 4 hunt, draw back 7, and play zone. Play zone with 7 in the back. Let your front 4 go and hunt for the quarterback. And stop calling blitzes and doing a lot of man. That's what I want to see change by Wilkes in this bye. I'm not saying that man doesn't work. But when you have a corner that's playing the slot in Isaiah Oliver, who is not a great cover guy, he doesn't cover well. It's hard when you play man type of defense. You got to sit there and play zone. Set your 4 monsters after the quarterback. Now, we added Chase Young. Now, I know many of you just look at him as a name. You know, he's a second-round pick in the first round. A second overall pick, like Bosa was. He went to the Commanders. He had a great rookie year. Then he got hurt. He hasn't been the same. But this year, since he's considered himself healthy enough, his stats prove that he's been playing very good football. Do you know who Chase Young reminds me of on this football field? Do you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a D Ford. Now, I think he's better than D Ford when he stays healthy. But he reminds me of a D Ford guy that can bring speed to the opposite side of Bosa. You're going to see against the Jaguars the difference that Chase Young makes on a football field. There's a game where he played against the Broncos, and the Broncos probably played him like 3 or 5 snaps in the first half. And then the Broncos, I believe they put up 21 points on the Commanders. So they decided to play Chase Young way more than what they wanted to in the second half. And what I saw was when he came in, that defense for the Washington Commanders looked completely different from the first half to the second half. Pressure was being mounted on Russell Wilson by Montez Sweat and now Chase Young. Nick Bosa has been double and triple throughout the whole season. Every game I've seen, he gets in one-on-ones, but the majority, he's either doubled or tripled. And unfortunately, Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and whoever, whether it's Drake Jackson, whether it's what's his name? I couldn't think of his name earlier. Why his name is skipping me, I don't know. Maybe somebody can type it in the chat. Number 5. I cannot think of his name. It's just number 5. Gregory. Whether it's Gregory, whether it's Drake Jackson, whether it's the kid that we brought from Oakland last year, off season, none of these guys are commanding pressures. None of these guys are penetrating. So the job falls on Bosa. And that will slow down his production. Now you're bringing in a guy like, thank you for the hashtag. Those that are coming in, I'm starting a new trend. Whenever you come into my show for the first time, put on their hashtag NSP. Show me some love. Appreciate that. Thank you, Don, for the hashtag. So when you put all that pressure on Nick Bosa, it's going to be hard for him to get those sacks. Now, keep in mind, it's the lack of DeMeco Ryan that he's gone and the fact that Nick Bosa started late because of the whole contract situation that is hurting him. But now, with the addition of Chase Young, your guys are going to see a completely different defense. Now, did the Niners need to still address their secondary? Yes. Did they? No. I'm assuming they were trying to get the kid from the Bears, but they wanted too much, and they decided not to go that route. We got Lenore. We got Ward. Our weakness is in the middle. And unfortunately, that is Isaiah Oliver. What are we going to do with Isaiah Oliver? Let's welcome Joe Garcia. How you doing, Joe Garcia? Welcome, my friend. So what are we going to do with that middle when it comes to Isaiah Oliver? He is not doing his job, and he's hurting us defensively. So if you can't go and get a good corner, what is the best or next option? If you can't take care of your secondary by getting a corner, then you go make sure that you get someone that can help you harass the quarterback. You got to harass the quarterback. You got to get in the quarterback's face. You got to be able to push the pocket towards the quarterback. And by adding Chase Young, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to see is the pocket collapse. You're going to see both Bosa and Young put pressure on the outside, which means the quarterback's going to have to step in the middle right into Armstead, and right into Hargrave. One piece, one little piece, and I say little, but we know Chase Young is nothing but little. It's going to make a huge difference on that front four. It's going to be like night and day when we play the Jaguars with the addition of Chase Young. Now, does he fix all our problems? No. He's not going to be the only one that needs to tackle. The whole tackling needs to get resolved and get resolved quickly. I understand that Greenlaw is playing hurt. I know he's playing hurt and he's dealing with pain. But he needs to tackle better. Fred Warner needs to tackle better. Now, having speed on the outside like Chase Young and Bosa, that will contain the outside. I can't express enough that this defense is going to look so much different against the Jags with the addition of Chase Young than it did against the Bengals without Chase Young. It's not that we're bringing in a pass rusher, okay? We brought in Gregory, and he kind of helped out, but he wasn't a caliber type player like Chase Young. The fact that we're bringing in Chase Young to be added this year next to Hargrave, Armstead, and Bosa, you're going to see a completely different defensive line. Now, they still got to work on their tackling. They still got to cover in the back. But when the quarterback, it has to get out of his stance. When the quarterback is pressured and he cannot make his reads because of the pressure and everything caving in on him, he's going to make mistakes. And when he does, that, my friend, in my opinion, will help out the secondary. We got to get home. We got to drop the quarterback on his ass. Too many times have I seen Bosa come this close to touching and sacking the quarterback and the ball, and he gets rid of the ball. Why? Because the lack of coverage, for one. Two, there's no other pressure coming from none of the three guys other than Bosa. By adding someone like Chase Young, you're going to see the difference in this defense. Now, with that said, Steve Wilkes still needs to make his adjustments. He needs to realize, you know what? I got to stop trying to turn this defense into what I want it to be, and I got to continue to just strengthen this defense by allowing them to play the way they have been playing. Like I said earlier, if it ain't broken, why fix it? It is that plain and simple, right? If it ain't broken, why fix it? So I'm excited to see what Chase Young does. I know a lot of fans are skeptical. They're like, I don't know. We needed a corner, and I don't know if Chase Young. We have a lot of rushers already. I don't know why John Lynch went for another pass rusher. I don't understand. Let me help you out. It's not the fact that we just went for another pass rusher. It's the fact that we got a dominant pass rusher. Now, I'm not saying that Chase Young is at the level of Bosa normally. But this year, he's playing better than Bosa. He has more sacks than Bosa. Now, Bosa has more pressures, but Chase Young is not that far behind. They are going to complement each other very well. Bosa and Chase Young will complement each other very well. And that's going to put more pressure on, in a good way, on Eric Armstead. If you remember 2019, when we had a healthy D Ford, a rookie Nick Bosa, Buckner, Eric Armstead had his best year. Did he not? Did he not have his best year in 2019? Because we had speed coming off the edge with D Ford. We had speed coming off the edge with the rookie Bosa in 2019. We had DeForest Buckner created havoc. Eric Armstead had his best year. I'm praying that we get back to that. Now, that was the plan going into the season with the addition of Hargrave. Now, Hargrave is supposed to replace, if you will, Buckner, which he has, not in the sack department, but he has, right? But we were hoping that Drake Jackson was going to be the guy that was going to replace D Ford with the speed. And we quickly found out that Drake Jackson was not it. And then we put in Clinton Farrell. Then we put in Randy Gregory in there. And it was nice to have those guys doing their thing, but they're not bona fide number one edge rushers. They're not. Gregory's not. Jackson is not. And Farrell, even though Farrell was drafted in the first round, he hasn't planned out. They're great pieces to have for a rotation. But they're, to me at least, they're not bona fide pass rushers. They don't bring fear. Like when people face Bosa, they know who Bosa is. They know we got offensive coordinators have to really plan for Bosa and Hargrave. And they're like, Armstead, we'll keep an eye on him. But on the other side, they weren't worrying about Jackson. Offensive coordinators are not worrying about a Farrell. They're not losing sleep over Randy Gregory. So they're focusing on Bosa and maybe Hargrave. That's it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now you bring in Chase freaking Young, a disruptor, a guy that can bull rush you and has technique, a guy that's going to get in your face, push the pocket back, and create chaos. Chase Young is not a Clinton Farrell. He is not a Drake Jackson. He is not a Randy Gregory. Chase Young is maybe about an inch, a step behind Bosa. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Bosa, but it's like having two Bosas on the line. We have that. We're going to have so much speed coming from the left and the right. And now the big boys, Hargrave and Armstead, are going to be able to push the pocket in the middle. I'm going to tell you, the one addition of this caliber of a football player is going to make a huge difference. Now, the key is this. He has to remain healthy. He has to remain healthy. Because I don't care. What's up, Eric? What's up, Brian Cope? Welcome to the channel. What's up, Andrew Martinez? I see you, brother. I see you, Andrew. What's the issue? What's the point of bringing in someone like Young if he's going to be hurt, right? So if he can remain healthy, it is going to be a huge difference in that D-line. We're not putting Drake Jackson We're not putting Clinton Farrell. We're not asking Randy Gregory. These guys are going to be rotational, good rotational pieces. But your front seven, I want this to penetrate. Your front seven lineup, ladies and gentlemen, consists of Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and now Chase Young. And behind them, you got Fred Warner and Greenlaw. On paper right now, there is not a front seven anywhere in the NFL that scares me. Now, I understand there's hesitance there because we haven't had sacks. Now, imagine if we were leading in sacks, right? Imagine if we were leading in sacks this year. Bosa had 7 sacks. Hargrave had 6 sacks. Armstead had 5. And then you bring in Chase Young. A lot of you will be freaked out. Overexcited. Why? Because we're adding a piece to already good defense, right? And I understand the last 3 games, we haven't touched the quarterback. So it's almost like bittersweet, right? We signed Chase Young, but we're not getting the production out of Bosa, Hargrave, and Armstead as we would like to. So we're like, man, I love this pick, but I don't know if he's enough. Let me tell you, he is enough. This is going to change Bosa trajectory. It's going to change Hargrave. It's going to change Armstead. The addition of Chase Young, it's going to change this look of defense. We're going to get back to being that scary defense. We're going to get back to being that dominant defense. We've been lacking speed, opposite of James Nicholas Bosa. Now we have our D Ford. We have our D Ford. We have our Buckner, and we have our D Ford. Let's effing go. Now, if Steve Wilkes screws this up, I don't think he will, but if he does, then we'll have a completely different conversation. But how can you screw it up with the dominance of this front seven? Name me. I want to hear from you guys. What's up, Andrew? I want to see it from you guys. Hey, John, I see you, my friend. I see you, John. What's up, brother? My other brother from another mother. What's up, John? I see you as well. Name me another front four. Let's forget about the seven for a minute. Name me another front four as good as our front four. You can look at Cleveland, Myles Garrett, number 55. What's the kid's name? They came over from the Vikings, who was originally with the Packers. Okay. They're not good. They're not better than Bosa and Chase. Well, I'm not trying to take nothing away from Myles Garrett. That guy's a monster. He's a beast. But he's one. What other defense? Help me out, guys. What other defense out there that have two monsters on the edge? Name me another team in the comments that has another monsters on the edge. What's up, Corey? Good to see you, my friend Corey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What other teams out there that has two monsters with speed and power? Nick Bosa has power and speed. Chase Young has speed and power. Dre Jackson is a big boy. But when you get pancaked by a tight end, the Vikings tight end, pancaked Dre Jackson, that's embarrassing. I'll tell you right now, ain't nobody going to pancake Chase Young. That guy's a monster. What's up, Randy? How you doing, sir? You say the Steelers. All right, so on the Steelers, who do we have? We got TJ Watt, and who else? Name me the names. Who is the one opposite of TJ Watt? Who is the player opposite of TJ Watt? I'm looking for teams that have two monsters on each side. They can provide speed and power. I'm not looking for someone that can provide one or the other. Maybe one provides power, the other one provides speed. I'm asking you, name me a team that has two guys on the outside that can provide power and speed. Like Chase Young and Nick or James Nicholas Bosa. I don't know that if there is. Is there? You have Crosby with the Raiders. Crosby is a monster. I love Crosby. That guy is... this is why I'm pissed off with the Raiders. This is why I am happy that the Raiders are in turmoil. They lost their coach. They lost the GM. Although... to Raider fans, that's not a problem. That's a blessing. They wanted to get rid of McDaniels and the manager, but Crosby, the Niners were going to draft Crosby. They were going to draft Crosby, and the Raiders jumped in front of the Niners and took him. We could have had Crosby and Bosa all this time. And for that, my friends, I am pissed. All right, let me open up a window here. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me look at rosters. Hold on. Let me look at rosters. So Steelers depth chart. 2023. So I know who. Let's see who we're talking about here. All right, here we go. All right, so give me a second. All right, so let's see here. Chart. All right. I don't know if you guys can see it. All right, here we go. So we have TJ Watt. And we have, let's see here, where is he? Larry, I forgot who this guy. How good is this guy? Let's see here. He has, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks. TJ Watt has 8.5 sacks, 2 forced fumble, and 1 interception. So that's a good one. What other team, guys? What other teams have a good front four? Minnesota, I believe, only has Hunter. Myles Garrett. Let's see the Browns. Give me a second. Let me see. Whoa. There goes my keyboard. Hold on, guys. All right, here we go. Let me open it up. All right. So we got Myles Garrett. 8.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 18 solo tackles. The guy's a beast, right? Then, hold on. Darius Smith, that's the guy that I was talking about. He has 5 tackles, only 1 sack in 7 games or 8 games. They're going into the 8th now. Yeah, in 8 games, he only has 1 sack. He hasn't done much for the Steelers. Who else do they have over there? Oops. Hold on, guys. I can't pronounce Jeremiah. I can't pronounce his name. He's a pass rusher, linebacker. He has 1 sack, 25 tackles. Not impressive. Not impressive. Okay. Who else? So, my whole point is this. With the addition of Chase Young and now Nick Bosa, we're going to have an amazing pass rush. Now, again, if Steve Wilkes finds a way to screw it up, I will be frustrated. This is what I'm going to hear for Steve Wilkes if he cannot do nothing with the addition of this guy. That's all I'm going to hear from this guy. I don't want to hear it. Hold on, guys. Oops. Let me close this. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Cleveland, we talked about. The Eagles, they have Hassan Reddick, which is a monster. They got, they still have Graham, but he's up there in age, right? They got the rookie, Carter. The Niners added a key component, Randy, and everyone. I really just want to emphasize, I'm not trying to be a cheerleader. I'm not trying to get all excited and rah, rah, rah. But I'm telling you, get excited because the addition of Chase Young, it's going to make a world of difference with that front four. Now, they still have to hit their assignments. They still have to win their one-on-ones, and they still have to make sure they tackle well, of course. But these guys are monsters. And for those that have doubt on Chase Young, he is playing out of his mind this year. What's up, David Corona? What's up, my friend? He is playing out of his mind. We're bringing in a piece, playing his best football. Again, we're not bringing in someone like Randy Gregory. Now, I still think Randy Gregory is a phenomenal player. I still think that guy's going to make such a difference as well. But as a rotational piece, he's a very good rotational piece. Fresh legs on third down. If Chase Young is tired, bring in Randy Gregory. Let him pin his ears back and go after that quarterback. Boom. You know what I want to see? I know we're used to seeing Bosa on the outside. We're seeing Chase on the outside. I would like to see stunts. Tell me if you guys agree with me or not. I would love to see stunts. I would love to see Bosa inside. Gregory and Chase on the outside. And Hargrave. So in other words, I would love to see Gregory, Bosa, Hargrave, and Chase Young on third and long. Put Bosa over the guard. Or move Chase inside and put him over the guard. Can you imagine? Third down and 8. Third and 11. You step back and you got Bosa rushing from the middle. Randy Gregory from the outside. Hargrave and Young. Holy cow. I want to see this from Steve Wilkes. I would love to see Bosa play inside. Or Young play inside. I would love to see them play inside. Hold on, guys. I would love to see them play inside. What are your thoughts? Hi, Brian Cope and David McNiner and Corey Davis and David Carona. I would love to see that come to fruition. I'm good, thanks, David. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. I love it. Happy that the Rangers won the World Series. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Texas Rangers for winning. Our old old general manager from the Giants won, I believe, his 4th title. Good for him. I forgot his name, Bochy, or I can't think of his name. I don't want to screw it up. Probably already did. But congratulations to him and the Texas Rangers. So let me engage with you, the viewers. Let me engage with you, the viewers. How dominant is Chase Young going to be added to this defense? Bochy, yeah, there you go, Laura. I thought so. I just couldn't remember. I should be because I've been a Giants fan. Yeah, I was always an A's fan. Let me bring some clarity here. My wife is a Giants fan. Her family's a Giants fan. So I always had a lot of insight in the Giants. They're also a local Bay Area team, so I rooted for them in the background. But I always was an A's fan since Jose Canseco. But I got tired of losing. Okay, and not just the losing. Okay, before people start judging me, well, I thought you were supposed to be faithful. I was a faithful fan for longer than some of you guys have been alive. I don't mind losing. I don't like losing. I don't mind losing. That's part of the game. But when you got an owner that doesn't want to win, when you got an owner that is a farm, he produces players and then trades them away. The owner of the A's does not want to win. I went years of having a trashy ass team. So I made the conscious decision to move over to the Giants. The Giants are not always been good. They've lost their share of, but their owner wants to win. Their owners want to get better. How good they become, but they want to get better. You don't get that feeling from Oakland A fans. And I just got tired of supporting a dying team. If the owner ever sells and they get a new owner, then I'll root for both teams. But until this owner moves and sells or croaks, and I know that sounds harsh, I don't care. I'm going to stay a Giants fan. What's up, JR Meadows? Welcome to the channel, my friend. Welcome to the channel. If D-Bucks was in that picture, man, the D-backs had both of these teams had a Cinderella year. Neither one of these were expected to be in the World Series. And what they were able to do in postseason is amazing. So my hat's off to all the Diamondbacks and their fan base. Great job. I know it wasn't the outcome you wanted. I know this is not the way you wanted to end your season. But there's always hope for next year. And again, when it comes to the Rangers, congratulations, man. Congratulations to the Rangers for doing their thing. So, the Niners are on a bye. They're recovering, they're recuperating. I heard Deebo Samuels on Kay Adams' podcast, Up with Adams, and she straight up asked him, are you ready to play? What's going on with your health? And he said, I am ready to go. That is good news. I don't know if you guys read that or heard it. That is great news to hear that he is ready to go. So hopefully after the bye, we will have Deebo ready to go. Hopefully we'll have Trent Williams. Now I understand that we losed out on Aaron Banks, but maybe Joe Feliciano can step in there. If I said his name correctly, if I didn't, my apologies. Can step in at left guard for 3 games. But the addition of Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel are going to be huge for this offense. I do want to say this. I want to get your guys' thoughts. I love Kyle. I really do. I think Kyle is an excellent offensive-minded guru, doing a great job as a head coach as well. I love John Lynch. I love Jed York for hiring these 2 individuals and let them do their thing. But I do have to question. I do got to question Kyle. Why don't you allow your young players to play? Why are you so faithful to default? People call him that he has an ego, that he this and that, he's stubborn. To me, it's about Kyle being loyal to a fault. For some reason, Kyle is too loyal to the players that he likes. And that hurts him. In my opinion, that hurts Kyle. Jordan Mason is itching at the bit to come in and showcase what he can do. He has done it already. But no, we continue to go with Elijah Mitchell. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Elijah Mitchell. I love Elijah Mitchell. But at this point in time, again, in my opinion, Jordan Mason is a better back than Elijah Mitchell. And why in the world would Kyle want to run CMC to the ground? Why would you want to run CMC to the ground? Why? Laura, no, it's not tea. It's not alcohol. but it's not tea. This is strawberry soda. Strawberry soda. I haven't drank alcohol in over 20 years. Not that I can't. I never had an alcohol issue. Drugs are a different case, but I thought about getting some bourbon or getting some type of whiskey, but soda is good enough for me. But no, I don't like tea. My wife tries to get me to drink tea, but I'm not a tea guy. I tried it. It's okay, but I'm not a tea guy. I love coffee, though, but not truly a tea guy. What's up, Victor Jr. in the house? How you doing, sir? Good to see you, my friend. Says, hey, what's up, Niner? From El Chuco Town. What's up, brother? Welcome, bro. Welcome. Look who it is. Look who it is. It is my beautiful niece. My beautiful niece, Ma Lopez. How you doing? Welcome, royalty. Welcome to my beautiful niece. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you. She's been very busy lately, working, dealing with life, and it is always an honor to have her in the chat when she can. And when she can't, I completely understand that life is life. So, what the point of drafting players if Kyle doesn't want to give them a chance? It's frustrating. He believes in his players, but not enough. And I know that sounds cliche, but not enough to start them. You got Ronnie Bell. Where's Ronnie Bell at? Somebody mentioned Danny Gray, and I completely forgot about Danny Gray. I'm like, Danny Gray? Is he still on the team? Being sarcastic and all. But you don't hear about him because, I understand he's been hurt. But come on now. I don't understand. Now, if we had two kickers, I don't think that Moody would be starting. It's like Moody has to start because he's just one kicker. But I don't understand the lack of commitment to youngsters and the overcommitment and loyalty to vets. What's up, little Spongy? How you doing? We got a cool Eagles fan. He must be riding high. Your Eagles are 7-1. Congratulations. You guys are playing good football. Now, this game against the Cowboys, it's a hard game for me to watch. I'm going to watch it, especially since my Niners are in a bye. I want the Cowboys, and this hurts. I want the Cowboys to win so we can try to catch up to the Eagles. But then I hate the Cowboys that I don't want the Cowboys to win. It's like, dang, I don't want the Cowboys to win. I hate the Cowboys. But then I don't want the Eagles to be 8-1. So it's like, it's one of those, can they both tie? Can they both knock each other out and just tie? You're very welcome, Victor. Always a pleasure having you here. We got Sergio A. Molina. What do you of Wilkes leaving the booth and being on the field with the players? I think that would solve a lot of the problems we are having in defense. I mean, listen, if you're referring to, sorry for I have my window open because it's nice and cool, and we're close to a train. train track. So I don't know if you guys can hear the train in the background. My apologies. But back to my point. If you're talking about having Wilkes bring confidence and look his players in the eye on the sideline and say, hey, shake it off and go back out there and ball. From that perspective, I can see it helping. I can see it helping from the perspective of if Lenore has a bad play or Greenlaw or somebody, and then they go to the sideline and there's Wilkes. Hey, shake it off. I have faith in you. I know you can do it, Greenlaw. Go in there and show them who you are. And looking at them right in the eye. Because right now it's like it's over the phone, right? So here's Greenlaw on the phone, and he's telling him, yeah, I believe in you. It's something about being tangible, being in front of somebody, than over the phone. So from that perspective, yes, it would help to be on the field. But because somebody tells me we're missing the rah-rah from D'Amico Ryans, the high fives, the jumping around and dropping your helmet and of Robert Saleh and D'Amico Ryans, I don't think that's the issue. I don't think Fred Warner needs a rah-rah guy to get him going. And if any of these players need to see their coach be animated, there are worse issues than we know. If Fred Warner needs someone to pat him on the back and, yeah, Warner, you can do it, there's worse issues defensively. Fred Warner and the rest of the defense, they are full-grown men getting paid a lot of money for the most part. You don't need the rah-rah. You don't need the rah-rah, in my opinion. You do not need the rah-rah. But again, if it's simply to tell somebody, hey, you messed up on this play, shake it off, and go out there and dominate, and just look him in the eye, then yes, it'll be a benefit to have him on the field. Hopefully that answers your question from my perspective and opinion. Gonna head out, Niner family. Can't keep my eyes open. Gotta get up at 6 a.m. I will definitely be on the next podcast. Always a pleasure, Don. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support of the podcast. You are genuine, one of the real ones. I truly appreciate you. I appreciate your husband, your family, your two lovely little girls. You are amazing. Thank you so much, Don. Have a wonderful evening. Let's see here. What's up, my boy? Eddie Woods in the house. What's up, Eddie Woods? How you doing, sir? How are you doing? It's going to be a tough week. Yeah, the Cowboys are... It's going to be tough for me because I don't want the Eagles to win, and I don't want the Cowboys to win. So we'll see what happens. It's not the rah-rah. It's about making adjustments on the fly. There are more times to talk. Exactly. Well, that's what I mentioned, Sergio. At least that's what I was trying to convey. That if it's to talk to the player eye to eye and said, hey, I know you just messed up. You blew that call. But shake it off. Get your ass back out there and be who you are. That intimate level of conversation, it will make a difference. So, but I'm saying there's some people out there, I'm not saying you, but there are people out there that believe it's the rah-rah that is missing from Wilkes. Wilkes is not a rah-rah guy. He's the type of guy that will get in your face, but he's not a rah-rah guy. So those are for the ones that have told me on Twitter that we're missing the rah-rah. But I agree with you. It's not about the rah-rah. It's about the infield adjustments, the conversation one-on-one, looking you in the eye. It's just something about being in front of somebody and being talked to than over the phone, right? So hopefully that would help. And we don't know yet. We don't know if he's going to be on the field. We shall see. At least I don't think he confirmed it. But we shall see. One thing we did hear from Kyle saying that he was going to have a one-on-one conversation with Steve Wilkes, and they're going to figure this out. The Niners are a very good team, ladies and gentlemen. The Niners have been down before. They have been down before. They had faced adversity before. They were 3-4, 2-5 the year before that. And we wind up being in the NFC Championship games. Now, every year is different. Every outcome is different. I understand. But if there's a team that knows how to look inward, self-evaluate, if there's a team that does not point fingers, although Kyle disappointed me a little bit when he put Steve Wilkes under the bus publicly, I didn't like that because that's a bad, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a bad thing you're showing your players. We have always said that the 49er players never point fingers, right? They never point fingers. They uplift each other. They encourage one another. No pointing fingers. And when you see Kyle Shanahan putting Steve Wilkes under the bus publicly, that to me sends the wrong message to the players. So that I did not like. But I expect this team to gather themselves together, re-huddle, figure out why these last 3 games have not gone our way. They will turn it around, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you this, they will turn it around. They added a key component in Chase Young. He is definitely going to benefit this defense. He's definitely going to help out this defense. Let's turn it around. Play one game at a time. We come out of the bye. We face the Jaguars. Let's focus on them. Let's put pressure on Trevor Lawrence. Let's stop the run. Let's get back to our bread and butter. What have we been doing in the first 5 games that we're not doing in the last 3? Why have we gone to 27 against the run when we were 2 last year? And let's get back to what was winning us games. And I believe, personally, that Kyle, John Lynch, Peters, and the rest of the crew will get together. They will self-evaluate. They will look internally and figure this out. I expect a completely different team coming out of the bye. How much of a difference? We shall find out. How much is going to change? We will find out. But I expect to see a lot of changes. Like Richard Sherman said, Wilkes should just put these put the keys in the ignition, and put it on cruise control. Don't touch the radio, AC, and the window. etc. Just continue on what D'Amico and Salah were doing. Exactly. You were brought here to drive the Ferrari. Nobody told you to bring in your Lamborghini or your Porsche. You were not asked to bring your own car. They just asked you to drive the car that was already built and established and ready to go in San Francisco. Will Steve Wilkes make the necessary adjustments? Or he will continue on this path. I think the Niners are too good of a team. And before I call it a night, and I appreciate everybody that tuned in, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. Don't panic, people. We're 5-3. 5-3 is not a bad place to be. Now, it sucks because we started 5-0. That's why it sucks. We started 5-0, and we're now 5-3. 7-1 would have been better. 8-1 would have been great. 6-2 would have been decent. But 5-3 is doable. Let's build off this. Let's take our time in the bye week. Let's get healthy. Let's get ourselves together. Let's come out after the bye. Let's beat the Jaguars. We'll become 6-3, then 7-3, and let's move on. The margin of error is much lesser now that we already have 3 losses. But this is far from over. Far from over. The word faithful. Why do we call ourselves the faithful? You got to believe when there's no hope. You got to believe when it feels like there's no hope. Believe in Kyle. Believe in Shanahan. Believe in John Lynch. Believe in Steve Wilkes. Believe in your team. Criticize it. Get upset. I'm not saying you're not allowed to do that. Be pissed. Be mad. Criticize where criticism belongs. But do not give up in believing that your team can win it all. Our team can win it all. Trust. It sucks losing 3 games in a row. It sucks that we haven't scored more than 17 points for the last 3 weeks. It does. I'm not saying you're not entitled to criticize Kyle or John Lynch or Brock Purdy or whoever. You are entitled as a 49er faithful to criticize anyone you feel fit. Because you are a supporter to that team. You buy their merchandise, so you are entitled. Criticize. Get mad. But don't give up. Don't give up. Remain faithful. Show your anger, show your frustration if you need to, but remain faithful. Because we are the faithful. I know that sounds cliche, but nobody calls themselves the faithful. When you hear the faithful, which team people think about? Oh, here comes the faithful. Oh, the faithful. Which is the team that people think about first? It ain't the Cowboys. When you say America's team, people think about the Cowboys. Why? I don't know. But that's a whole different conversation for another night. When you say faithful, people associate that with the Niners. Let's push the narrative. Faithful, faithful, faithful. It doesn't mean you're not able to get mad. It doesn't mean you can't criticize. Some people criticize. It's funny. Some people criticize John Lynch and Kyle way too much, and some people don't criticize them enough. Keep them accountable. But at the end of the day, remain faithful. What's up, Jay in the Bay? My brother from a different mother. How you doing, sir? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I hope everything's well. I know you've been busy with family, work, and your channel. And I know you've been doing Faithful to, or is it to Faithful to the Bay? Or I'm sorry if I screwed it up. I didn't mean to. But your channel with the rest of the guys. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Good to see you, my friend. We got to do a show sometime. I miss doing a show with you. But I understand you're busy. So whenever we can get together, let's get together. All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with your boy Niner Sickness. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Stay faithful. Remain faithful. And the Niners will turn it around. The Niners will turn it around. No worries. Niners will turn it around. And before you know it, we're going to be winning games. Until next time, God bless. See you later. And we'll talk to you soon.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money. Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.